Hi, Chuck Brewer, Director of Operations for Concrete Technologies. Today, Ryan and I are going to take you through a Duraflex 5000 application. We're going to roll on the binder, we're going to blow on the flakes, and we're going to seal it with Aquathane 6000. As you guys can see, Ryan's already got this slab prepped. He put a skim coat down for demonstrations today. We're going to put down our 5000 binder over the skim coat, blow flake, and then we're going to clear seal. As with any job, you've got to make sure once your prep is done that it's thoroughly clean, so there can be no paints, no oils, no latents, no debris still left on the job. You've got to have clean concrete. The concrete must be dry as well when you're done before applying the 5000 binder. The first thing we're going to do is mix up our 5000 binder. The 5000 binder comes in 6 standard colors. It also comes in 1-gallon kits and in 5-gallon kits. We're going to combine the A and B together in the original container. We're going to mix it for about 3 minutes. We're going to pour it into a clean pail and we're going to let it sit for 10 to 15 minutes to go through an induction stage. It is a cross-linked product. Once it induces, we're going to hit it with a drill again and then we're ready to roll. Anytime you're using one of our colored components, whether it's 5000 or 210 or even 200, if it's a pigmented sealer or binder, you always want to stir up the color portion of it first to make sure everything's thoroughly blended before you add your B component. The reason for pouring it into a clean pail is to make sure it's thoroughly mixed. We always want to mix A and B together in the original container and then pour it into a clean pail and remix it. That way you make sure there's no unmixed product. 2 things we want to talk about. 1, tape your rollers. I'm using a half-nap phenolic core roller, so I'm going to pull some blue tape off to get the excess lint off of it. The second thing is Ryan's actually taking the bag of flakes and flipping them over to actually take the small flakes that got crushed during transit and blending them into the bag, so when we spray them out, we've got a consistent, even look. This is a gravity-fed gun. The chips actually funnel around and go out the barrel. There is no brake on the chips, so if you tip the gun forward, chips will come out. You want to keep the gun tilted back. Use your hand as an agitator as you're pulling the trigger. Using a chip gun is a lot more consistent than actually hand broadcasting, which a lot of guys try and do. The problem with hand broadcasting is you get a rainbow or a chicken feed effect on the floor, and it's just not as consistent or as professional looking. Let's talk about the 5000 binder's coverage. We want to take the 5000 binder about 100 to 125 feet maximum per gallon. We want to roll it out a couple of 100 feet at a time, so roll out 250, 300 feet max. And then you want to blow flakes into that within a timely manner. And when I say timely manner, you want to be on that and blowing flakes within 5 to 10 minutes. All right, guys, it's time to blow the flakes. Ryan's going to dump a couple of scoops in here. Let's talk about flake coverage. When you're actually spraying on your flakes, you want to spray them on where it looks visually that you're getting an 80 to 100% coverage. By putting a lot of flakes on, it's easier to stay more consistent. The heavier the coverage of the flakes helps hide inconsistencies that actually exist in the concrete. Chips, divots that your binder went down into. It's better to put on more than not enough. All right, we've let the Duraflex dry overnight. At this point, Ryan's going to take a pole sander with some 100 grit sandpaper on it. He's going to lightly sand over the top to knock the tips of the flakes off, and then we're going to broom, blow, and seal with 6000. We're going to use Aquathane 6000 on the job. We're going to mix A and B together in the original container. Then we're going to pour it into a clean pail and remix it. We're going to let it sit for about 10 minutes to go through an induction stage, and then we're going to stir it up and roll it out. Just remember, always tape your rollers to get off all that excess loose nap. When you're putting down Aquathane 6000, you want a nice, thin, even coat. You want to put it down at about 250 to 300 feet a gallon on your first coat. Duraflex 5000, prep the concrete, roll the binder, blow the flakes, 2 coats of urethane, simple system.